Hello! ETBI and Solace, with the help of all 16 ETBs, have produced a set of guidelines and also a supporting toolkit for initial and ongoing assessment of adult literacy and numeracy at levels 1 to 3 on the National Framework of Qualifications. These guidelines are to support the learning process and will help you and the learner identify learning goals, plan a programme of learning, and track progress and skill development over time. The accompanying toolkit is a support document for the guidelines and draws on many resources already in use by ETBs. It provides support materials, sample tasks, and sample recording and screening tools. Drawing on existing good practice across ETBs, the guidelines provide 6 guiding principles, 7 conditions, and 10 quality criteria, all of which can be found on pages 5 to 7 of the guidelines. Here's a quick summary of the guiding principles. Learner-centered, based on the individual's knowledge, skills, goals, and aspirations. Voluntary, the learner's informed choice is essential. Confidential, information and the learner's personal data is secure at all times. Constructive, supports the learner in becoming more aware of his or her potential. Accurate, generates evidence of progress and achievements. Purposeful, leads to action that supports learners' progress. Looking at some of these principles in greater detail. Learner-centered, this is really getting to know more about the learner's needs, motivations, and any concerns he or she may have about the learning process. The supporting toolkit offers some useful tips on gathering as much of this information as you can in a non-rushed and sensitive way as you work with the learner. Constructive. Once you are aware of the learner's goals and motivations, you and the learner can agree steps to develop a learning experience that will meet the learner's goals and allow for progress. Again, the toolkit offers lots of useful tips on goal setting and devising progress scales. While we're talking about progress, each assessment should produce evidence of the learner's progress and achievements. Progress may be vertical or horizontal or both. An example of vertical progress might be going from writing an address to writing a postcard, while horizontal progress might be being able to write an address in class with the tutor to being able to write an address on a raffle ticket in a social setting. Purposeful. Assessment is always for learning and should always lead to action to support the learner's progress. In the case of the examples above, the next step for the learner might be to write a number of postcards, or to write a letter, or maybe to fill out a form in a bank or a post office. Again, the toolkit provides a selection of sample tasks to work with. Now, a quick word on the 7 conditions. These can be found on page 5 of the guidelines. The first 5 are standard across all ETBs and include the use of standard templates to record assessment results. These templates are an individual learner plan, an individual progress tracking form, and a group progress tracking form, all available in section 4 of the guidelines. The 2 final conditions offer more flexibility across ETBs and relate to choice of performance tasks, materials and support resources, and also to the timings of assessments. Finally, the 10 quality criteria encapsulate what you already know about quality assessment for adult literacy and numeracy, including the use of adult-appropriate materials, resources being consistent with learner goals and experience, and making use of authentic tasks, situations and materials. If you fancy some additional reading on initial and ongoing assessment, the accompanying research report contains all the theory, while the country fiches have lots of information on international good practice. Meanwhile, we hope you and your learners benefit from using the guidelines and supporting toolkit.